Queens Flip and Mark Lamont Hill is just the result of black intellectualism, and the black intellectual in any community having to constantly defend themselves from niggas who don't know what they be talking about loudly. I'm just gonna keep it tall with you. I used to do a lot of political takes on here, but honestly, it's because that I used to hate talking to niggas like Queens Flip. And I thought it was funny, right? And I don't think Mark Lamont Hill's perfect by any means. God, he can be condescending to people. And it's one of them things like, he's still a Philly nigga, right? So like, he's still gonna be on some nut ass time sometimes, right? Like sometimes he be like saying little smart shit to these people, but I'm just gonna give the retort that not to justify it, but just to be real. Stupid niggas deserve you to be rude to them. I'm sorry. Motherfuckers who don't know what they're talking about loudly, motherfuckers who are blissfully ignorant, men who perpetuate certain types of energies about being a real nigga and all that. I hate you type of niggas. And y'all deserve niggas to be condescending towards y'all, because y'all like to be condescending to people that just tell you that the shit that you're saying is not accurate, and you get mad at that because you've built your identity on seeming intelligent and seeming like you're smart. I was on a panel one time and we was talking about like, black people and what we need to do to be better. And one thing I've always said to brothers a lot of the time is I could tell the niggas who legitimately don't read our history and don't know anything about black folk when y'all say dumb shit like black people need to get together and focus on stuff that's more important. And it's like, bro, there are organizations that work towards legal justice, organizations that work towards supporting black businesses. Remember, they just took some black women to court because there was a black business grant that they basically said was racially discriminatory, even though we created these things because no one else would invest in black business. They're literally waging economic war on us right now for everything we created. Even government programs they use with black innovations, like, or you ain't heard of the WIC program, the free breakfast program that people was doing. Okay. Imagine the motherfucker saying that with their whole chest, that like black people don't work together. Oh man, if we bring all the black people in the room, they're not gonna work together. Like, this is anti-intellectual shit because it's ahistorical and it goes against facts. So I was talking to some people and said, but we got to stop believing narratives in people who aren't smart. Because a lot of the time we'll hear like some conservatives say some shit about black crime rates, but well, I mean, you see how Chicago's looking, it is crazy. Not realizing that you're looking at Chicago now versus in the context of what it was in the fucking 90s. Just saying. A lot of these niggas don't be smart, bro. Look at Lord Jamar, bro. Took his stupid ass up there talking about flat earth and you can cure COVID with silly and silver, some weird shit. But then this nigga believed that there's no such thing as gravity. How? So we're just a ball floating in the middle of nothing? like you can't talk what you think we're a disc floating in the middle of nothing. I remember one time I was talking to somebody, talking about Martin Luther King and how civil rights movement, he included other people in that. We should have just been about us. And really, he started saying, when I talk to like my conscious folk and they be like weirdly like anti-Semitic, I'll be like, oh, these niggas got some of that Nazism Kool-Aid. Cause ain't no way that you saying this shit to like people believe in black radical politics. Cause why the fuck are you bringing up Jewish space lasers and conspiracy theories and shit? And like we're talking about Martin Luther King. Fuck that guy. Like niggas, and I think because back in the day college used to be free. Right? Back in the day before Reagan and shit. And I guess the wage war against the liberal, which always was code word for niggas. I'm sick of y'all saying that. Y'all act like liberals just mean white people. A lot of time they be talking about niggas. They was tired of the black educated liberal. They was sick of them niggas. And them niggas were a detriment to just full-on conservatism. Not really, for radicalism, but for full-on conservatism, the liberal was like, I hate the fucking educated liberal. So they put payment stipulations on college and make college basically, a debt creator. So for the motherfuckers who couldn't go to college or, they went to college for a moment but couldn't afford it, they were filling the blanks to the gaps of knowledge with nonsense. But because that they say it with conviction and because we praise a bunch of other anti-intellectuals, why not? Let's be clear here. The United States has always been ran by dumbasses and anti-intellectuals who dismiss scholars, because oftentimes if we had an intelligent society, the type of people who would be running as senators and representatives wouldn't be here. Like, imagine young Republicans in a group chat talking about gassing niggas and raping folk, and the response from a VP who's spineless is that, oh, I'm not going to be pearl clutching and whatnot. Bro, these niggas are talking about gas chambers. Like, we're not, what? Like, raping their enemies and what it would do to them. These niggas are freaks. And they invaded the comic book space. That's why you got people saying that, like, Batman will be agreeing with, like, ICE agents. Mind you, the Batman who fights corrupt crime, who protects poor people, who starts orphanages, who in the animated series was against deforestation of an Amazon rainforest, didn't do weapon manufacture. Like, the nigga literally would not be for this. There's no comic books you niggas read where absolute Batman would be protecting ICE agents, snatching people from the streets. This is the same Batman that in the main DC run is going against corrupt officers and got shot by one. So he's gonna fight with them to grab innocent people? But then it speaks to the power fantasy that Batman always was. See, the conservative white man always saw themselves in people like Batman and the Punisher because they're taking the law in their own hands, not realizing that the flaws and fallacies of these said characters is to examine the fallacy of a privileged rich person taking the law into their own hands. At least for a good Batman story. That's why often the best Batman stories, Batman's kind of in the shadows and he's only focused on intermediately, or good ones that focus on Bruce Wayne often focus on his flaws, especially as somebody who is a vigilante with a lot of resources, and they call into question his actual crusade and whether it's truly beneficial or just something that makes him feel better. And same thing with the Punisher. Like, the Punisher oftentimes is shown as somebody who openly knows that he's not a good person, and he hates cops who try to take on his role because cops are supposed to be a deterrent and he's supposed to be like the final, deterrent to like true criminals if the law fails. But if there's no law and everyone's just the Punisher, then the cops are no different than the Punisher, which makes them no different than the fucking criminals he's killing, so he'd be killing them too. No one read Punisher Max at all, where it openly said this man was one step away from killing innocent people. Because, like, we have anti-intellectuals in these spaces, so you have the people who get mad and saying that, oh my gosh, James Gunn, DC is woke garbage and this, that. And it's just people who don't read books, who don't read anything, who don't know anything, but they're loud, and other dumbass people find, solace in being embraced by other dumbass niggas. Because one thing a stupid person doesn't like is to be surrounded by people who know more than them, who the typical ignorance they're able to skate off by with charisma and being humorous. They can't do that with smart people who are also charismatic. A lot of it's insecurity. But that insecurity, unfortunately, they directed us, should be directed to the people who made education such a financial barrier for most people. And if you know Queen's Flip has always been a nigga who's always confrontational, always be on that time. And I want to say this one last time, just to go back on topic with that particular situation. Y'all got to stop thinking that just because somebody talks a certain way or somebody is educated that they are more removed from the black experience. Oftentimes, when we've learned to be educated in certain things, it's due to a love for our culture and to be able to confront the lies and misinformation about our culture on these larger stages that shapes the perception towards our enemy of us. So I've seen Martin Lamont Hill go off on people before. He went to a black conference. I think it was like a festival or something where he owns a bookstore too, and some dude was questioning him being a shrill for Democrats, and he went off on that nigga. He's like, bro, I be literally flaming Democrats all the time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He got aggressive, and they're like, oh, chill. But it's like, nah, because before Buddy was hella hostile, but then when a nigga turn up on y'all, you're like, no, it's not like that. Because y'all think because the nigga's intellectual that he pussy. And y'all do think that. And a lot of us are tired of y'all thinking that shit's sweet. So yeah, niggas gonna turn up on you. Niggas gonna be condescending towards you. Niggas will slap the shit out of you. Because at a point, bro, y'all gonna stop trying niggas. And especially when y'all don't know nothing. Y'all the reason we're here, because we listen to dumbass niggas like you. So some of y'all deserve this.